How to learn English grammar through stories. What do stories have that grammar books don't? Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how stories can help you learn a lot more grammar than grammar books. After watching this video, you're going to look at stories in a completely different way. I want to begin with a quote. Repetition is the mother of skill. What does it mean? To me, it means that the best way to learn something is to repeat it until it becomes automatic. The same thing applies to English. If you want to speak English automatically, you need to have enough repetitions of the basics of the language. In other words, you need to hear and read simple verb tenses such as the past, the present, and the future thousands of times before you begin to use them automatically. Forget about the past, perfect, progressive verb tense if you haven't mastered the simple tenses yet. Got it? Great. Now, let's do a little research together. Let's see how many repetitions of simple grammar we can find in a story. But before we get into that, we need to have a plan and a sequence, what to do first, second, third, and so on. For that reason, I've prepared a grammar book. Essential Grammar in Use is one of the most famous grammar books in Uzbekistan. Almost all students use it to prepare for entrance exams, but I'm not a fan. Okay, here are the units. As you can see, units 1 and 2 are all about M is R. Let's see how many repetitions of M is R we can find in a storybook called LA Detective. I have the same story, LA Detective, in a Word document format. If you press Ctrl+F, you can search for any word in the text. Let's search for is in the text. Wow, 36. Well, it's not the total number because there is another way to use is, which is this S. But as you can see, not all of these are ises. I've done the counting by hand and there are 47 ises in this story. Okay, let's do the same with M. 1. Now let's try the letter M. 8. So 8 plus 1 equals 9. We got 9 M's. Let's try R. Ooh, 9. And 2. Okay, 9 plus 2 equals 11. There are 11 R's. Honestly, I've already done the research. I've chosen the most common grammar stuff to make a list, and here it is. Now, you might be thinking, it's just one story. Other stories might be different. They might have different grammar. I've done the same research on 2 more books, and here's the final result. Can you see the similarities in this graph? You can clearly see that the present tense in all 3 stories has the highest numbers. The present simple does is at somewhere around 40 and is at about 50, and the present continuous doing is at around 20. Let's get more specific. Let's look at the actual numbers to see how many repetitions of the present tense we can get from a single story. I want to look at the LA Detective story again. And I've done the more specific research as well. And here it is. What does it tell us? It's simple. If you listen to LA Detective 10 times, you will have heard the present simple tense is 470 times and does 760 times. And the present continuous doing 220 times. What does it all mean? It means 4 things. 1. What to learn first. It means that the present tense represents the biggest proportion of the text. It's the most common verb tense in the story. Therefore, beginners should learn it first. 2. What not to do. The graph shows that it'll be a mistake to focus on perfect tenses before mastering the present tense because someone was able to write an entire story without using the perfect tense, not even once. And the story totally makes sense and is 100% grammatically correct. 3. Fluency faster. By mastering the present tense, you will be able to speak fluently much faster than those who are trying to learn grammar all at once. 4. A ton of repetition. Listening to stories like LA Detective 10 times can give you 470 plus 760 plus 220, that's 1,450 repetitions of the present tense. That's a ton of repetitions of the core or the heart of the language. By the way, that's where the word ACE in my channel name comes from. ACE stands for Acquire Core English. According to studies, an average person needs to hear and see a word or phrase 70 plus times in different contexts before he or she acquires it. However, some verbs such as am, is, are take much longer to acquire, but this 1,450 repetitions can get you there much faster. You know, people around you will be more than impressed if you can tell a story using only one tense. And you can learn it really fast within several weeks, and that's the power of having enough repetitions of the core of the language. We've been talking about grammar so far, and now you must be thinking, okay, got it. If I want to learn grammar, I better read books instead of doing grammar exercises. But what about vocabulary? How can I improve it? I've done another research for that. Here is a word list which includes all the words in LA Detective. As you can see, there are 69 beginner words, 29 elementary words, and 12 pre-intermediate words. Why is it important? If you simply learn those 69 beginner words, which constitutes 70% of the text, you will be able to understand and even retell the entire story 70% correctly. That's the power of learning the core of the language first. It ain't over yet, my friend. Now, you might be thinking, how about parts of speech? Can I learn adjectives, nouns, verbs, and etc. from a story? The answer is yes. I've done a research on parts of speech as well. Here it is. Look at this. Take a close look at this. Do you need to learn nouns? Look at the words highlighted in silver. Do you need to learn pronouns? Look at the words highlighted in purple. You need to learn verbs? Look at the words highlighted in red. To sum up, whatever you need to learn to be able to communicate in another language, not just English, but any language, without studying tedious rules and without doing boring exercises, you can find it in stories. That's the power of stories. So here's my final message to you, my friend. If you are serious about language learning, stop studying grammar rules and start reading and listening to interesting and comprehensible stories. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos like this, subscribe. If you have a question, comment on the bottom. If you like this video, click like. Peace.